guys, so starting off, you're going to need a trauma as well as a dead makeup kit, then some blood gel. Mine's a little dirty, I can see. Then our liquid latex. You get a smaller portion if you'd like, a mixing cup, as well as some all-purpose makeup sponges, some shredded Kleenex, as well as some white makeup powder. Start off this look, I'm using that all-purpose white makeup powder all over my face. My makeup is from today. I wanted to make this an easy transition look, so if you're getting off work and you wanted to do this and you have a party to go to or whatnot, it would be easy. You didn't have to wash your face and start all over. So here I'm just dusting it all over my face. It's also absorbing the oils and whatnot, and it's also going to give me kind of a pale, sickly complexion, which is what we're going for. Typically, I'm a bronzer girl, but when it comes to zombie makeup, obviously zombies are not tan. So using one of my L'Oreal Color Tattoo pigments, I'm using Forest Fatal, if I'm saying that correct. I'm just going to put that all over the center of my lip as well as the top of my lip. It's going to give me a pouty, very interesting look. I also have that color on top of my lids if you guys are wondering. And then here I'm just taking, you can use whatever color. For some reason I picked red. I'm just going to mark where I would like to kind of put my little scars and stuff, so I have an idea and I'm not going to go blank. Now using the liquid latex, I'm just going to dip a makeup sponge and then I'm going to blot it on the area that I would like to make one of my fake little wounds. So as you guys can see, just stamp it up. Try not to get it into your hair or anything like that because it will pull your hair and that is not fun. And then taking a shredded piece of Kleenex, I'm just going to kind of put that all over, and you can make it messy. You just want it to kind of look like flesh, as well as you're going to want to build that up. So then I'm just going to dab the liquid latex over again, and I'm going to keep repeating this step until I have the desired wound that I'm looking for, as well as you're going to want to put at least 3 to 5 layers on top, just so when we go in there we make our incision, it's going to give it some nice depth and it's going to look like it's a full layer of skin rolling back. That sounds completely disgusting, I know. Now, when you're deciding where exactly you want to place your wounds, make sure that you kind of have like an idea, like realistically, if you were attacked by a zombie, let's just say, if you were attacked by a zombie and you were going to become one, I mean, for me, I would probably put up a fight, so we're going to say some scratches on my neck, a little bit on my face, maybe I fell, hit my head on the ground, that's why I have that big gash. You know, you definitely want to make sure that you have an idea of where you want your wounds and kind of the story behind it, because that didn't hurt. And especially if you want to tell someone later at a Halloween party and they ask you about it, kind of give them a pretty cool spiel. So you guys, same steps as I said is the beginning, and we will go ahead and keep doing that and then let that dry, and then we'll make our incisions. Now, since that's pretty much dried, I'm going to go in and I'm going to be taking tweezers. These are pretty sharp on the end. I do suggest using something that you can't necessarily really puncture your skin, but something that you can get pretty close. You could do a little pair of sharp scissors, but I don't know, I'd be a little careful with that. So here I'm just using tweezers, and as you guys can see, the latex is super sticky and it like will pull your skin up with it, but I've just kind of made the slightest little opening, and then I'm using my fingers. I felt like that was a little bit easier to make the hole bigger, and you're just gonna keep going back and forth and just opening it up and just kind of doing whatever. It looks painful, it's really not. I mean, you guys can see my skin moving on my neck, but it really doesn't hurt. So just keep pulling it and just get that desired look that you are looking for. Use your fingers, really play with it. Just please don't hurt yourself. Now once you're done with that step of opening everything up, I'm just taking my concealer and I'm using an e.l.f. foundation brush. I do recommend grabbing some inexpensive brushes to kind of do this. I wouldn't necessarily use your nice brushes just because, I don't know, I wouldn't want to put my nice brushes with costume makeup, but just put it all over the wounds because you're going to want them to blend in the best that you can, especially because the tissue is white. Here I am using the yellow base from the color correction. I believe it's in both units. They're only $5. I'll have everything listed below. So I'm going into the wound, and yellow typically means very nasty, infected, just like green. They're all different colors, but you want to make this look pretty nasty. I'm going for that raunchy look on my scabs, so just kind of give them a little infection like they've been sitting there for a day. The green is also going to go in there and do the same effect, and mixing all of these colors. You don't want to just go in there and do red and brown and make it look all scabby and fresh. You really want to give it some character, which sounds once again disgusting. I'm getting like really graphic and very descriptive with this, but I think that's what really makes this look good. Now using the dark purple, like it's super dark, I'm going into the scabs and I'm kind of outlining them. That's gonna create kind of a really deep whited look, and if you go in there a little bit deeper into like the wound area, you really want to get back there, so if you are turned to the side, the wound is completely covered. Then I'm also kind of going around, as you guys can see, and almost etching out the scab and the scar just a tad bit. When you're done sketching everything out, go in there and fill out the wounds and the scabs with the red. That's going to give you that gory look. Even on the scabs, as you guys can see, I'm actually getting ready to go on it right now. That little one, that's not going to be a wound, that's a scratch. I did just do the latex to give it some volume. Then just taking a little bit of the red and the purple mixed together, I dabbed it on my hand a few times, and then I'm going in and I'm making some bruising. And you're just going to want to pack that on kind of over in the wound area, because you obviously aren't just going to have a scab and everything is going to be perfect. You definitely want to make some bruising, and that's going to adjust it as well. Then using the yellow as well as the green, I'll go in there underneath my sponge and I'll put it on my eyes, and then kind of all around my face I'll dab it in. Then once again, using that same yellow as well as I'm going to go in there with the green. I don't think I pull it up on here. I'm just taking an angled eyeliner brush and I'm going to sculpt out my veins. It's hard to tell where your veins would be, but I think I did a decent job. Obviously, do whatever you want. I'm just kind of sculpting them around and kind of messing with it and thinking where veins would typically be. And then after I'm done with the yellow and the green, I'm going to go in there with the purple, and I'm going to kind of go over all the lines that I created. I felt like that gave it a realistic look. Then I'm going to be taking just a makeup sponge, same one, it's fine, and I'm going to kind of dab it out so it doesn't have like a super defined look. So just taking on that same sponge, I actually put a bunch of purple on there. I'm going into the hollows of my cheeks, and I'm just going to kind of sculpt my cheeks in. That's going to give me a really like skinny, sucked in face kind of look, as well as it adds a ton of character. And then after you're done with that, if you'd like, just go in there and sculpt the veins once again. Now, for the best part about this whole look is the blood gel. It totally makes this come to life, and it gives it so much character. As you guys can see, I'm just using a concealer brush, and I'm going to just be putting that on all the wounds and kind of a little bit out, just so it gives it that dripping look. If you are wondering, this does not transfer or, drip down your face or anything. It actually stays put, so clothes don't need to be a concern. Then I'm also going to go into my lips now that I'm a flesh-eating creature, as if I already got into something, and don't worry, this does not stain your teeth. So I hope you guys enjoyed this look. Keep watching and check back for more Halloween looks as well as other tutorials.